Hello, we are watching the news broadcast daily and following today's highlights.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng discusses socio-economic tasks in 2013 with two northern mountainous provinces of Cao Bằng and Hà Giang. Vietnamese rice exporters aim to export at least 7.5 million tons of rice in 2013. A cold spell, the strongest this winter, is sweeping the northern part of Vietnam, disrupting the lives of most people and forcing thousands of students to stay at home.
National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng on January 7th met with his Laos counterpart Pani Yathotu, who is here for a visit.
Chairman Hùng highlighted the success of the 2012 Vietnam-Laos Solidarity and Friendship Year, particularly the Vietnam-Laos National Assembly Cooperation Conference in April in Sơn La Province. He said the legislatures of the two countries should continue to work closely with each other in implementing bilateral agreements, as well as at regional and international forums. Yathotu said cooperation between the two legislative bodies in 2012 demonstrated their joint efforts to maintain bilateral friendship and cooperation, contributing to increased solidarity between the people of both countries. She hopes lawmakers of both countries will continue to support and supervise cooperation programs between both governments so that they yield practical and effective results.
On January 7th, National Assembly Vice Chairwoman Nguyễn Thị Kim Ngân hosted a reception for the Vice Chairman of the Russian State Duma Committee for Energy, Sergei Levchenko.
Ngân told her guests that the National Assembly of Vietnam pays attention to the energy cooperation between Vietnam and Russia. She promised that Vietnam would create necessary conditions for Russian enterprises to broaden their business in Vietnam. The National Assembly Vice Chairwoman said she hopes parliamentary agencies of the two countries will continue to foster their cooperation in specific activities in order to enhance mutual understanding and the effectiveness of the two parliaments. Levchenko briefed his host on the outcomes of his working sessions with Vietnamese agency and emphasized his committee's support for cooperation with Vietnam in all fields, including energy.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng has held working sessions with two northern mountainous provinces of Cao Bằng and Hà Giang, reviewing their socio-economic situation over the past years.
At the meeting with officials of Cao Bằng, the Prime Minister suggested that the province utilize its agricultural and forestry potential and encourage the development of household-based economy to rise out of poverty. He pledged to create favorable conditions for the province to grow. Dũng also advised the province to boost tourism services and expand trade with neighboring Chinese localities. Cao Bằng province recorded a GDP growth of 9.5%, achieved a per capita annual income of 15.2 million VND, or $735, and reduced the rate of poor households by 4.6% last year. The same day, at discussions with authorities from Hà Giang province, Dũng asked the locality to focus investment on projects essential for local socio-economic development. He said the province should pay more attention to trade with China, in a spirit of cooperation, friendship and mutual benefit to safeguard the border and sovereignty over national territory. Hà Giang province is aiming for a GDP growth of 12.5% this year, compared to 10.78% in 2012, and will try to reduce the rate of poor households to 25.6%. Participants at the working session also discussed how to remove challenges facing border districts, funding for water reservoirs, transport and irrigation works, and completing the infrastructure of border markets.
On January 7th, a ceremony was held in Hanoi to present the National Brand Award to 54 outstanding businesses.
The 54 firms selected for the program this year operate in engineering, textile and garments, leather and footwear, financial services, electronics, IT, energy, and food industries. Many of them have become household names such as Nhà Bè in May 10 Garment, Điện Quang Electric Bulbs, Trung Nguyên Coffee, Rạng Đông Plastic Goods, Kinh Đô Confectionery, Cozy Tea, Vietinbank, and Vietcombank. The criteria for the award include brand recognition, sustainable development strategies, and commitment to brand development. Addressing the ceremony, Deputy Prime Minister Hoàng Trung Hải affirmed the government's responsibility to work together with businesses in promoting Vietnamese brand names. The National Brand Program is launched every 2 years with a view to enhancing domestic businesses' awareness about the need to build and promote their brand names on both local and international markets.
Vietnamese rice exporters aim to export at least 7.5 million tons of rice in 2013, but less than last year, according to the Vietnam Food Association, VFA.
Last year, Vietnam exported a record 7.72 million tons of rice, up more than 8% from 2011. However, the revenues dropped almost 2% to nearly $3.5 billion. At a conference in Ho Chi Minh City on January 7th, VFA forecast the tougher world rice market, especially for Asia in 2013 due to high supply and low demand. The association said that few rice exporters get contracts in the first quarter of 2013, while the harvest of the winter spring crop is due in February, 1 month earlier than normal. Furthermore, Vietnam's traditional markets, including the Philippines and Indonesia, are increasing their own production and creating market pressure. China has emerged as a big market but not reliable due to many risks. Only China imports rice in the first quarter of this year, but it always tries to push price down, especially when its southern region also got a bumper harvest. Therefore, we must take a flexible stance toward the Chinese market while promoting new markets in Africa. The VFA predicts Vietnam will produce 7.6 million tons of commodity rice this year. In the first quarter, Vietnamese rice exporters are likely to ship abroad 1.4 million tons. VFA suggested that the Ministry of Industry and Trade should step up trade promotion, especially in African countries. It recommended that the ministry strengthen negotiations with China, the largest importer of Vietnamese rice, in 2012.
A cold spell, the strongest this winter, is sweeping the northern part of Vietnam, bringing daytime temperatures down to around 10 degrees Celsius. Plunging temperature has forced thousands of students to stay at home and put hospitals under increasing pressure due to a surge in patient number, both young and elderly.
In the mountainous northern provinces such as Ha, Giang and Sơn La, temperatures dipped as low as 5 degrees Celsius, making it impossible for students to attend school. In Hanoi, primary students are allowed to stay at home when the temperature falls below 10 degrees Celsius. Parents have been advised to follow the weather forecast on national television to monitor their children's school routine. Meanwhile, hospitals reported a higher than usual number of elderly people and children requiring treatment for respiratory and cardiovascular-related diseases in recent days. In particular, the Central Hospital of Geriatrics saw double the number of patients they would see on a normal day. The cold snap, which is predicted to continue until January the 14th, has also disrupted the lives of most people, especially those working outdoors. To dispel the chilly wind, many workers resort to lighting fires to keep themselves warm. Witten Van Binh, a motorbike taxi driver, stoops over a hot cup of tea waiting for clients. It is so cold that many people prefer to take a taxi or bus. Motorbike taxi drivers like me have fewer clients on colder days. Meanwhile, a car taxi driver on a cold day can earn more than double his usual income. On chilly days, far more people hail a taxi. As a result, my takings go up. However, most taxi drivers still hope the cold weather will end soon, because as the saying goes, the greatest wealth is health.
And this is the end of our news today. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.